Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's me, Simply Smiling. Got up this morning, getting a lot of work down here in my space, and I just knew that I wanted to come on here and record. Last night there was so much lightning and thunder and rain, and all I could pray was, Lord, please don't let the power go out. It always gets us, but this time, God is who He is. He's great. Power stayed on. I wanted to come on briefly too. I had a Zoom meeting in the midst of the storm last night, and we talked about fear. We talked about a whole lot of things. Of getting started was the main topic. There were only 4 other ladies on the Zoom, which made it very personal. We could all actually hear each other, and everybody had an input, and we had a great time just simply chatting. Getting started in life. When you're getting started with something, what stops you? You get started in your mind. You get started in your heart. You get started in your desire. You want to get started, whether it's eating healthier, whether it's starting a new career, starting a business, whether it's writing a book, whether it's relocating, whatever it is that you want to do for yourself. Getting started sometimes is hard, in the active part of your life, how to actually make it happen, how to take those necessary steps to see it through, how to take those necessary steps to just simply do it. A lot of times it's fear. You have the desire. You can have the desire and the want in your heart all the time, but when fear enters into the picture, it becomes a little bit more difficult. You start questioning yourself. Well, I know I'm called to do this, but can I do it? How will I do it? When will I do it? What would be my resources? How am I going to make this thing happen? And that's fear. Fear comes in with a lot of doubt. I want to encourage you today, as we mentioned on the Zoom last night. This is somewhat of a recap. I enjoyed it so much. I want to encourage you out there, when you're trying to do any of the things that I just mentioned, a new relationship, a marriage, whatever it is you want and desire for yourself, you have to put something in front of your fear, is what I shared last night. Something has to precede the fear, okay? You just can't jump into fear and think you're going to all of a sudden get out of fear. All of a sudden, a green light is going to go on and I'm going to just automatically start making things happen for myself. I'm no longer fearful. But when you put something in front of your fear, you create that barrier. You put up that boundary in front of fear to block fear. Fear cannot be preceded by anything negative in your life. You can't add stress to the fear in front of the fear. Okay, stress cannot precede fear. You're just adding another negative barrier, another negative layer on top of an already negative resource, on top of an already negative thing, which is the fear. Put some positivity in front of the fear so that you can knock it down and get through. Put some faith in front of your fear. Faith is the biggest thing because it's what we don't see. A lot of times we work and operate in the things that we can only see. We believe in the things that we can only see, and usually that's just the fear. So when you put faith, your belief, your desires, your wants, whatever you need for yourself, your total desires in front of the fear, you're ready. You're ready to move forward. You got to believe, not in the fear. You got to block the fear, but you got to believe in yourself to come through the fear, to conquer the fear, to get over the fear. We are not fearful people. If you have a desire, like I said, in your heart, know that you can make things happen for you. Stop starting and stopping. Stop wanting to start and not moving on that. I talk to a lot of people all the time. They want to eat healthy. They want to get off of medication. And I thank God that I've come across those individuals that are making that happen, because they put up boundaries around the fear. They put up boundaries around the doubt. They put up a total boundary around procrastination. Stopping. I'm not going to say stop starting and stopping. Stop stopping. Okay, the start is what we need to do. That's the little steps to get us there. But stop stopping all the time. Okay, stop saying I want to do this for me and not doing it. It's what I'm saying. Stop saying I can do this for me and then start getting fearful and think that I cannot even do it. You won't know what you can do until you actually start doing. So procrastination has to go. Okay, and then to check your resources and your sources in life. We mentioned that, and I was telling them I believe that resources and sources are 2 different things. Okay? Your resources are the things that you lean on and you count on in life. Your job. Okay? If the job is good, there's no fear in that area. You feel okay, right? Your job, your car is a resource. Your housing is a resource. Your family, they're resources for you. Your children are resources. Okay, your wants and your desires are resources. The fact that I want to get up and exercise every day, that's encouragement for me. That's resources. But you've got to know, you've got to know the strength of everything that I just mentioned. You've got to know your source, which is my higher power. Only one source to bless me through the fear and with all of these resources. Only one source. Notice the difference between resources and source. When you know that, you're able to get over fear. You're able to say, well, if I'm fearful in this area, I can reduce all the anxiety in my life in this area if I lean on my resource. Don't lean on the resources, which change all the time. You know, you've got to understand that, like I said, when you take the right steps and add the necessary things into your life, counting on your one source, blocking out the fear or letting it precede it with something positive. When you do all of these positive things, you can't help but win. You can't help but learn and grow and say, well, I've got this together. This is going to happen for me. And you believe it and you act on that. Okay? Stop putting yourself last in your life when you're trying to change your life. If you're trying to change your life, you can't be the last factor in the whole equation. You have to be higher power first, and then you have to be number two, right there. After your higher power, your strength, and your source. Understand? Not your resources. You know, when we put our resources in front of our own wants and desires, it does not happen for us. Nothing that we want is going to happen. You know, my grandkids are my resource. God knows I love them all, 4 boys. Love them all, but they're not my source. I can't count on them for the things that I know. The only one that I know, my higher power, my source, can get me through, can see me to, and to help me maintain and grow in certain areas. And you have to be consistent at that. You have to get up every day and say, Lord, you are the source. Now let's tackle the resources. Okay? Lord, you are the source. So now let's find a way to block this fear. And when you believe and speak like that, believe it for sure. And like I said, be consistent at everything you deem necessary, everything you're trying to change for yourself. Stop second guessing yourself. As long as you second guess, your change will never start. The change has to come to a start point. The wants, the desires have to come to a start point. This is not the start point. A lot of people say, well, if you think it, then that's where we are. We're good. We're good. As a man thinketh, so is he. I understand. But action has to be put with that. You can't just sit and think like so. How passive is that? It's time for you to move on it now. It's time for you to make things happen. And in order to make things happen, you've got to move people, move the mind, but then get in the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Start believing and moving things. Get in there and be a mover and a shaker, amen, in your own life. You know, time goes so fast, and before you know it, it's another year. And you want to do the same thing for you. Sit down and think about all the things you do for everybody else. Take a minute, sit down and think. And know that everything that's in your core, everything that you want to do for yourself, know that you can do it. That's why you thought of it. This is where faith comes in. Step out and believe that you can, even though you don't see it. As long as you feel it and believe it, it can happen. But it has to be in the right order. It has to precede the fear. I keep going there because fear would just take over, and it's just fear, 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 fear all day long. Nothing else is preceding the fear, meaning no change is going to be made in this area. I have a fear that I won't be successful. Okay, and if you speak that, you're going to believe it. Come on, and watch what you say. We've had that conversation before. Watch what you say out of your own mouth about your own success, about your own life, about where your visions and missions would take you. Watch what you say. Okay? But be ready to know that everything precedes. If you're planning a party, let's just go there. If you're planning a party, okay, this is everything that precedes the party. You've got to get the invites. You got to get the venue. You got to get a caterer. Oh, we need a DJ. We're going to do it. We got to get some music. Okay? We got to get the date, the time, the location. All of this precedes the planning of the party. Well, plan yourself out of fear and put some things to precede your fear there in order to make it a reality in your life. To say, I'm no longer fearful in this area. I'm ready, I'm willing, and I'm able, and I'm going to do whatever it is going to take for me to be necessary to be a successful person. Success is not all about the money in the bank. Success is not all about how many cars are in the driveway, 15 if you got 20, whatever. That's not success. Success on the inside is that burning, that driving, that love, that consistency, and that dependency that you have for and on yourself. Okay? If I could count on myself every day, I would be lost. Not to say I'm not loved. I'm totally loved. I'm a little over-loved. And I thank God for that. I do. I don't take it for granted. But I know at the end of the day, when I lie down with me. When I get up with me. And my higher power is never out of the picture. Amen. Don't get it twisted. I get up with me. I lie down with me. I move throughout the day with me. I think because I can. We have to learn. That's a trust factor. We have to learn to trust ourselves to get out of fear. Don't let the fear bother you. Stop saying I'm going to start this healthy eating. I want to get off of medication. Anybody can say that. I've heard it said a lot, but I've seen it done too because of consistency and dependability on yourself and being an advocate for yourself. At some point in life, you got to just take ownership of your life. I own this life, this one life, this blessing that God has given me, and I'm going to make the best out of it that I possibly can. And I'm going to continuously drive, push, and fight towards the mark of where I need to be to take complete ownership of my life. We have to do that because no one can do that for us. Nobody can ever do that for us. And as you're taking ownership, be ready to identify any and all fearful components that are in your life. Fear comes in all shapes, form, and fashion. It comes in people, places, and things. Be ready to identify those components so that you can tackle those, so that you can know what to put in front of them, what needs to be preceded here. Okay, if you're around a negative person that bumps up your fear all the time to tell you, yeah, you probably can't do that. You know, if you're around that type of person that's toxic, be ready to precede that person with something when you see them. If it's a prayer, pray before you engage and meet with this person. I didn't say stop loving them, but watch everything and everybody, every situation, every person, every place, and everything in your life when you're trying to make changes in your life. Let it proceed. Let something positive precede your fear. And pack it on. Set those boundaries in your life. And I promise you, you'll start seeing things differently. And bigger but not least, last but not least, stop procrastinating. I have people all the time that say, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to start, and they may start and may not. And I've had several that I don't even hear from anymore. But I give you that space. I give them that space to come back to it. You're going to come back because of you, not because of me. You're going to get started because of you on the healthy eating, not because of me. Because once you realize what you need, not what somebody's telling you you need, once you realize what you need, you'll find your place and your space in life to be successful. Okay? Peace and love, guys, and a lot of it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you real soon. All right.